News for people who can't stand the news. Baltimore police officer Edward Nero has been found not guilty of all charges for his part in the events leading to the death of Freddie Gray. Judge Barry Williams announced his decision Monday after a bench trial. Nero was charged with second-degree intentional assault, 2 counts of misconduct in office, and reckless endangerment. The verdict in the bench trial comes more than a year after Gray's death on April 19, 2015, and it became a symbol of the black community's distrust of police and triggered days of violent protest. Gray was black. 3 of the officers charged are white, 3 are black. I guess some people need to know. Okay, maybe some people, maybe you don't know the color of the people. You know, when I die, does it matter? I'm just going to keep reading, guys. It's just, this is what they do. This is mainstream media. Closing arguments in the trial of police officer Edward Nero, the second officer to be tried, concluded on Thursday. Community leaders and elected officials have appealed for calm. The citizens of Baltimore had demanded justice, they said, and that process is playing itself out. Nero was charged with second-degree assault for allegedly touching Gray during an arrest the prosecutor said was illegal, and with 2 counts of misconduct and reckless endangerment for not putting a seatbelt on Gray when he put the prisoner in a police van. Gray died from spinal injuries after being shackled without a seatbelt in the van. Williams last week aggressively questioned prosecutors about their assertion that Nero and other officers assaulted Gray by touching him without reasonable suspicion of probable cause. Prosecutor Janice Bledsoe argued that searching and handcuffing Gray constituted an assault. You're saying an arrest without probable cause is a misconduct in office charge is a crime, the judge asked. So you say if you arrest someone without probable cause, it's a crime. Yes, Bledsoe responded. Williams at one point said if you touch someone, it could be assault. It could be a hug. See, this is why you don't like lawyers. This right here. Now, I got a good lawyer that I'm working with, but I grew up with him. Okay? But this is what I'm talking about. This type of lawyer speak. Let's just push through it, guys. Get to the end of it, okay? Michael Shatestow, Chief Deputy State's Attorney, later told the judge that not every arrest that occurs without probable cause is a crime, but he added that arrests in which the actions of the officer are not objectively reasonable are criminal. The prosecutor said Nero and his partner turned a routine stop based on reasonable suspicion of a crime into a full-blown arrest requiring probable cause. In her closing, Bledsoe cited statements in which Nero and his partner both used the word "we" to describe putting Gray on the ground and handcuffing him. Okay, so let's get to the bottom of this and see why they ruled the way they did. The defense argued there was no proof Nero had read an email about the seatbelt order, and that the state had failed to show he had a duty to secure Gray. Zayon said it was the responsibility of the van driver to put a seatbelt on the prisoner. The only time Nero touched Gray was when the suspect asked for his inhaler. Nero was one of 3 bike officers involved in the initial police encounter with Gray that day in April 2015. Prosecutors have said that Gray complained of having trouble breathing and asked for medical help as he was driven in the van. When he arrived at the police station, he was unconscious. A week later, Gray died at a hospital from a spinal cord injury. 4 officers have yet to stand trial. Lieutenant Miller Brand Rice, Sergeant Alicia White, and Officer Caesar Goodson. The trial for Goodson, the van driver, will start June 6. The case against William Porter, the first officer to go on trial, ended in a mistrial in December after jurors couldn't agree on a verdict. All right, guys. Let's put that over here. Look. Here's the deal. All right. Here's the deal. There is no question that Freddie Gray should be alive today, or at least he should not have been killed. His spine should not have been severed in police custody for basically doing nothing. Okay? That we already know. We know that someone was negligent. Now we're trying to determine if the negligence was criminal. We know he was not put in a seatbelt. You have a person who's handcuffed behind their back and then thrown into a van, and a van that makes rough rides. So these things are all, none of this stuff is up to debate. So there are people, I'm understanding there are people that don't understand what's going on, and they for whatever reason, they want to side with the state and say, you know, that's what he gets for running, and that's just, he didn't punch a cop, he didn't shoot at a cop, he didn't rob a bank, he didn't molest a child, he did nothing. Even if he did any of those things I just listed, he should have made it to the police station alive. Well, conscious. Okay? You don't get to kill a guy on the way to the police station because you don't like it. The whole case is hinging on this. This is why everybody's not indicted. Well, everyone's indicted, I'm sorry. This is why no one's being found guilty. They can't prove whose job it was to seatbelt him. Any person, any one of these officers, if they would have just put a seatbelt on this guy, on Freddie Gray, he may be alive today. That's the difference here. That's it. So Nero's saying, his defense is, hey, I only touched him to give him his inhaler. I didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't prevent his death, but I didn't cause it. Leave me alone. You know, and William Porter, same deal. Hey, it's not my fault. Hey, you know, stuff happens. I didn't do it. You know, so that's the bottom line, guys. That's where we're at with the Freddie Gray case. My concern is this. Baltimore has a long, long history of screwing over people, citizens, right? And they have a very tenuous relationship with the community, the officers. And there have been cases of police brutality in Baltimore for decades and decades. Police brutality go unanswered, they go unchecked. This didn't just start with Freddie Gray. So that's one thing I want to make sure everyone knows before we leave the story. Whatever you think about Baltimore, whatever you think about the uprisings that occurred there last year, know this. One day this guy, Freddie Gray, didn't die and everybody just go crazy. That's what the media wants you to think. People have been fed up in those communities for quite some time. It's sort of like us, Bernie Sanders supporters, with what's going on with us. One day we didn't have one problem at a polling station and go, oh my God, you know, the whole thing's rigged. Everything's rigged. They're still in the election. No. Even with people in Baltimore, it took a preponderance of evidence, a significant number of events laid in a row to give people an impression that all hope is lost and you got to take matters in their own hands and they're not listening to us. And so let's break some windows. Let's burn some stuff. We're pissed off. Okay, that's what happened. Everybody didn't do it, but that's what happened. So I just want to, I'm trying to draw correlations here so people can understand what's going on and so we can all be on the side of justice and realize that the state is the state. The establishment is the establishment. And the sooner we wake up to that, the better off the country will be. All right, guys, that's the show. Just remember to catch us Monday through Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time for Tim Black's Progressive Day and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Tim Black at Night. If you want to support independent media, this is where you do it at timstake2@gmail.com. We give you news for people who can't stand the news. See you next time.